Pokemon Red, but all base stats are randomized. What does that mean? So I took the base stat total of every Pokemon and through a pseudo point buy system randomly assigned new stats for everything. So now Pinsir no longer has 125 attack, it now has 139 attack. And Magmar no longer has 85 special, it now has 73 special. And looking at it now, they don't really seem like huge differences, but just believe me, there are some crazy ones in this run. Now, if randomized stats weren't enough, I'm going in completely blind, so I have no idea what any of the base stats are for anything except for Pinsir and Magmar, and that's only because I had them in my last video. I inadvertently deleted the notes I had on everything too, so I truly am blind with no way of knowing what anything is until I catch it or evolve it. But wait, there's even more. After I get 4 out of 8 badges, I will be randomly assigning new base stats all over again. So if something had a super high attack and speed stat before the reset, it might have a really high HP after the reset. The obvious question to ask is, what effect will that have on Pokemon currently in my party? Enough talking and speculation. Thank you so much for watching. Let's get into the video. I start off the run by picking up my boy Charmander, and I name him Speedy because I hope that's what he is, but checking his stats, yeah, not really. So I reset, and there's going to be quite a bit of resetting in this run, just be forewarned. So I get back to Oaks and pick up a Squirtle that I once again named Speedy, and that is the exact opposite of what this Squirtle is. Going right back in, I pick up a Bulbasaur, and judging from our luck with the other two, I named this one Tank. And well, we found Speedy, but does it really matter what the stats are for my starter? They're going to evolve and get a new stat spread after 11 levels, plus the stats will reset after the 4th patch anyways. So I reset one last time, pick up my boy Charmander and name him Luigi. We managed to win the first battle against Rival, go train just a little bit, and already at level 8, Luigi has 20 defense and 18 special, which really helps us out at the beginning game by tanking all the normal type moves. And at level 9, Luigi gets Ember and starts wreaking havoc with that high special stat. But making it into Pewter, we take on the junior trainer and we find out Diglett is also tanky. But that's okay because it doesn't have any special moves and goes down after a bit. Then Sentry comes out and evidently has low special and only goes down in 2. Alright, Luigi is level 13 and it is time for Brock. And really, Geodude and Onix seem to be about the same. I don't really know for sure, but resisted attacks and special attacks aren't hitting for very much, and that seems on par with their normal behavior. But it doesn't matter either way because Brock is super easy when you have a tanky Charmander, and we get the win. Moving on to the east of Pewter, take note of Luigi's stats because we are about to evolve and things might change. Attack is 16, defense is 35, speed is 21, special is 33, and HP is 36. Okay, now let's evolve and see what kind of stats Luigi has and whether we're going to keep using him. Okay, so essentially it looks like we have the same kind of stat spread Squirtle had. Pretty balanced stats with lower speed. I mean, that could work, and really looking at it, Luigi got a really nice buff to attack. It's almost double, so actually that's pretty good. I know you're asking in the back, and yes, I buy the Magikarp from the reputable salesman and name it Harold. Just if you're curious, here's Harold's stat spread. We won't be using Harold yet since it only knows Splash, but it does have okay attack and defense. Fingers crossed it keeps that for its evolution. Going into Mount Moon, we catch a Paris and name it Speedy because I'm hoping Parasect has super speed. Paris has decent HP and high defense and special, so at least it's tanky for now while we train it. But it might be too lopsided into defense, as you can see when it fights this Oddish, barely able to outdamage Oddish's 4 times resistant Absorb with Scratch. I just hope it's worth the grind in the end. I keep it on the team and you'll notice I benched Harold for now. I would just be training Charmeleon here if not for Misty and her Starmie. Knowing our luck, Starmie got min-maxed with super speed and special and is impossible to beat with just a Charmeleon, so I'm wanting Speedy around for that. Making it out of Mount Moon, we go ahead and take on Rival. Pidgeotto is even slower than Luigi and seems to have pretty high special, which isn't great for it, and we're able to knock it out in a few turns. Against Abra, I swap into Speedy to get a bit of experience, but it has super defense, so I swap back into Luigi. Rattata goes down to 1, no problems there, and now we're on to Squirtle. We outspeed, Rival decides not to use any water type moves, and after 4 turns, we take it out. Cerulean Rival is down. We're past the first checkpoint of the game. With that, let's go over the rules. Rule number 1, I have to nickname all of my Pokemon something cool like Harold. Rule number 2, no items or healing in battle. Rule number 3, trade evolutions evolve at level 50. And unlike my type challenge runs, all TMs and HMs are free game in this video. Making it to Bill's house, he is so enthralled by how tough Speedy is, he gives us a free ticket to board the SS Anne. Just to board it though, we can't actually go anywhere. Coming back down through Cerulean, we beat up the Team Rocket Grunt hanging around at the scene of the crime and go visit the daycare man. We will be visiting him quite a bit in this run, and this time we're letting him race Speedy a little bit, just until it hits level 23. Speedy levels up to 24, and after fighting this Dugtrio, there are its stats now, and moment of truth. Yes, Speedy is actually speedy, and it has super good HP, holy cow. Our Parasect is faster than our Charmeleon, and I am all for it. Boarding the SS Anne, I pick up some of the items around like Body Slam and the rare candy, just fight a few trainers. We beat up Rival again, learning Kadabra has low special and high defense just like Abra, and Wartortle has awful special, letting us easily take the win. Leaving the big boat, I go catch an Oddish and name it Specs. Specs will be our cutting friend unless it has really good stats, which I mean, no, not really, it doesn't. I promise Specs that I'll put it on the daycare after Harold though, just in case. Taking on Misty, Staryu goes down easy enough with its special not looking that great, but it looks like I was right about Starmie, and it easily knocks out Luigi, but not before getting burned by Ember. I send Speedy out, and after quite a bit of back and forth, and thanks to that burn lowering Starmie's attack, we are able to take it out and get the win on Misty. Going back to pick up Harold from the daycare, I evolve it at level 20, and just look at this stat spread. Harold is definitely sticking around on the team, at least until the base stat reset. And we lead off with Harold against Lieutenant Surge. Voltorb has really good defense in this run, but that crit helps us out, and it goes down in 3. Pikachu is a one hit, no surprise there, and Raichu's Thundershock takes Harold down to half HP, which honestly speaks pretty good on Harold's special stat. A crit bite takes Raichu down to a third. Surge wastes a turn with X speed, but Raichu hits another Thundershock, and we live, and Raichu goes down to one last bite, getting us the win. I once again forget to buy repels before Rock Tunnel because of course I do, and I decide to put away all the TMs on our bag. I don't want to use anything until I know for sure what our team is going to look like, especially after the reset. Going on to the hiker with the self-destructing Geodude and Graveler, Speedy has 15 defense at this point, so surely a self-destruct will take it out?
Nope.
Geodude's attack must be terrible, but you know what's worse? Graveler's attack stat. I almost want to catch a Geodude at this point just to see what it and Graveler's attack stats are. Making it out of Rock Tunnel, let's take on Lavender Rival. Pidgeotto, we already know, isn't that hard of a matchup and just goes down. Growlithe isn't very good either, and it just spams Roar anyways. Execute might have lower defense than usual, but it's still really annoying to fight, so I swap into Speedy to finish it off. Kadabra kind of sucks with its low special and high defense, but it goes down eventually, and Wartortle has really bad special, so we get into Swag Rage to get those sweet boosts and knock it out. Heading over to Celadon, I pick up the Pokédoll, the fresh water for the guards, and I also pick up Ice Beam, Rock Slide, and Tri-Attack from the girl on the roof as a just in case. Alright, now it's Erica time. Victory Bell immediately puts Harold to sleep and starts spamming Razor Leaf, but Harold wakes up just in time to hit with Bite, taking Victory Bell way down, and I swap into Speedy to hopefully finish it off. Victory Bell goes for Poison Powder, which is the best case scenario, but it also outspeeds and gets Speedy in a Wrap Loop. And then it gets Luigi into a Wrap Loop, and you know what, we're resetting because that fight made me sad. Alright, take 2. Speedy manages to paralyze Victory Bell, which helps us out a lot, and it goes down. Tangela could be really annoying with Bind, but lucky for us, it goes for a couple Constricts, and Harold is able to knock it out. Last up is Vileplume. Its special doesn't really look that great, and it has terrible HP, but it puts Harold to sleep, so I swap into Speedy, who tanks a Petal Dance, and after a little back and forth, we beat Erica. And we're already resetting the base stats. I forgot we did this so soon. Okay, here we go. So I do some little mumbo jumbo in the background. I got to save the game and come back and restart it. And we're going to see what the party looks like. So all of the party is exactly the same as of right now. But I do write everything down. I record it all so I can check it later for if anything does change. Taking on a Team Rocket Grunt just to get some experience on Speedy, though, it does level up. And Oh no, 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 no. Speedy is no longer speedy. Well, at least we know now that base stats are reloaded on level up. Kind of wish they weren't in this case though, but oh well. We will unfortunately be benching Speedy since it is no longer Speedy. Moving through the rest of the team though, Harold levels up and honestly not too bad. Attack went way up and defense, speed, and special are all pretty well balanced with its old special stat being cut in half, so it's a good thing we didn't teach it Bubble Beam. And his HP is now 122, 24 points higher than its old HP. Pretty decent stats overall, so we'll be keeping Harold. All right, time for Luigi. Please be good, please be good, please be good, please be good. Yeah. We won't be using Luigi for now. Those stats are kind of trash. All right, time to get some replacements. And I have the base stats for everything in this file, so I can actually show some cool graphics now. Like, here's the 3 evolutions base stat spread. As a rule, I decided I could only look at the base stats of the Pokemon if I had caught that Pokemon. So I grabbed Eevee, named it IDK, and evolved and reset 3 times to look at Flareon, Jolteon, and Vaporeon, and decided, yeah, Flareon is easily the best pick out of the 3. And just for information's sake, here's Charmeleon, Parasect, and Gyarados. I love these wacky stat distributions. I take IDK the Flareon, teach it Body Slam, and name it Blitz, because that is much more fitting a name now. I briefly consider using Specs and get it evolved into Gloom, but its base stats aren't really that great, and Vileplume stats are awful, especially combined with its limited move pool, so we won't be doing that. So at this point, we're in desperate need of a special attacker, and hear me out. What if Hitmonchan has high special? What if? So I go to the fighting dojo, take out all the trainers in here at a pretty low level, but we're desperate, and we pick up Hitmonchan, naming it Avatar, and moment of truth. What? Yes, Hitmonchan has good special. Let's go. And just like that, we have our team. Well, for now at least. And with our full team behind us, let's finally go back to Lavender Tower and get back to the main storyline. Lucky for us, Ghastly has low HP because the only thing on our team that can damage them now is Harold with Dragon Rage, but they're easily dealt with. We kick out Team Rocket, rescue Mr. Fuji, and get the Pokeflute. With Pokeflute opening up the routes to Fuchsia, I head over to Cycling Road to start grinding a little bit, and I'm starting to have realization on how long it's going to take to get Avatar leveled up. So I might unfortunately start looking for a different special attacker soon. And by soon, I mean almost immediately, because I head to the Safari Zone and start catching stuff. I catch a Venomoth that I name Bug and a Nidorino that I name Ricky. And since we have a Moonstone, let's go ahead and evolve Ricky just to see what stats he has when he evolves. And I mean, it's not terrible. It's extremely tanky with 172 base defense and 147 base special. But it only has 4 base speed, so needless to say it won't be outspeeding anything, but will that really matter if we're tanking everything in the game anyways? So I bench Avatar, sorry all you Hitmonchan apologizers, and Ricky is our main special user. But you know what? Why not use Bug too? It has a base HP of 141 and a base special of 101. It learns some psychic type moves on level up that are pretty good. Let's keep it in the party too. I go back into the Safari Zone just to catch some more to see if we can get anything else, and I catch a Tauros that I name Cow, and it has slightly higher attack than Vanilla, but it's also slower, so I don't know. We have it if we want it, but I doubt we'll use it. Taking on Team Rocket in Sylph, Ricky shows his special power combined with Surf to dominate and breeze through a lot of these battles, and after beating all the Rocket Grunts in Sylph and some other trainers out in the overworld, the team is at level 36 and 37. Let's take on Sylph Rival. Now this is the first time we've seen Rival since the base stat swap, so we're going in completely blind to this fight. Let's just see how it goes. I send out Harold the Gyarados and he sends out his Pidgeot, and Harold demonstrates his attacking prowess by taking huge chunks of HP from Pidgeot while it does nothing, and it goes down in 3. Growlithe comes out, Bite crits, taking it to just under 1/4 health. It hits Takedown that does nothing, and another Bite takes it out. Rival sends out Execute that immediately hits Leech Seed, which kinda sucks with how high Harold's HP is, but Bite crits and one-shots the annoying seed things. Alakazam is sent out, and I'm a little worried about it. Harold does outspeed, but Bite does right at 1/4 to Alakazam, and Leech Seed heals it up a bit, so let's swap into a special attacker just to see if we can do any better. Super effective confusion is doing almost nothing to Bug, which means Alakazam's special must be terrible. And we confirmed that with a Mega Drain that almost takes it out, holy cow, and the second seals the deal down to Rival's Blastoise. Super effective Mega Drain is doing very little, so it looks like Blastoise's special is really good. And it goes for Withdraw. Bug misses a Poison Powder unfortunately, but Crit Bubble only does 27 HP to Bug, so that's better than expected. Luckily, Bug hits the next Poison Powder, meaning we can win this match if we can stall it out. It hits with Bite that does almost nothing, so that's good. It looks like its attack isn't that great. I swap into Blitz hoping it goes for a physical attack, but it goes for a Water Gun, taking Blitz down to 22 HP. That was scary. Can Blitz do some major damage with Body Slam? No, it just takes it to under half, and Water Gun knocks Blitz out. All right, maybe Herald? Oh, yeah, Dragon Rage. It takes it to just a sliver. Blastoise's Bite does nothing, and Poison Tick damage takes it out. Finally, Self-Rival is down. All right, so from here on out, I think we'll just have to use Poison or Toxic damage to take out Blastoise. Otherwise, it's going to be a really long fight. Moving right along, I pick up the Lapras, name it Nessie, and its stats aren't great for a Lapras, but at least we have a little information for Lorelei's team. Taking on Giovanni, Nidorino has awful defense. Kangaskhan is actually pretty good, but won't see it again. Rhyhorn has bad defense, so it goes down in just a few hits. And Nidoqueen also has bad defense, so it too goes down in just a couple of hits. So the Giovanni Gym Leader fight might be pretty easy when we get to him. We'll just need to figure out a way around his Nidoking. Moving on to Koga, I'm pretty confident going into this fight, as you can probably tell from me not healing before. Coughing we already know is pretty easy to take out. Muk has some decent defense, but the only notable thing it does is Poison Herald and disables Bite, but Dragon Rage hits hard enough and we take it out. Coughing number 2 is just another coughing, so no biggie. And Wheezing, I predict a self-destruct, but Wiki can just tank one of those easily enough, and that's exactly what happens. We get Toxic from that fight and the ability to surf, so we head straight to Cinnabar to get the old Amber and Helix Fossil resurrected. And when we get Aerodactyl back, we find out it has super speed and special, and that's about it, unfortunately. But Kevin Sr. can be our new fly user and part of the team. When we get Ulmanite back, I put him in the daycare because it would be way too much to train it just to be disappointed. And after leveling up to level 39 in the daycare and once more in battle, Spiny evolves into Omastar, which really doesn't have the stats we're looking for. So I am glad I didn't train it up in battle all that way. I benched Spinny. I then briefly discussed catching a Staryu or a Shelter, and I wish I had looking back. Here's the base stats for Starmie if you're curious. You'll have to wait on Cloisters because that would be a spoiler for the Lorelei fight, and well, I'm not going to say anything more. That being said, we're just going to bench Bug. We're going back to the old formula of a 3-member team with Harold, Blitz, and Ricky. Harold is our physical attacker with some bulk, Blitz is our certified glass cannon, and Ricky is our absolute brick wall. With the team set in stone now, let's take on Blaine. Well, right after we get past this super nerd that confuses Blitz, and Blitz one-shots itself. Okay, good effort, Blitz, you're doing great. Alright, Blaine time. He leads off with Growlithe that goes down in 3 from Harold thanks to a super potion. Ponyta has really good defense and decent HP, so I swap into Ricky and Surf naturally one-shots it. Rapidash has really bad defense and goes down in 1 bite from Harold, and I don't know what kind of stats Arcanine has, so let's hope it's nothing crazy. Bite takes it down by about 1/5, and Double Edge takes it down to about 1/4. And these recoils tell me Arcanine has pretty decent HP as it knocks out Harold. But Ricky is able to come out and knock it out with no problem, and I didn't notice in the playthrough, but Ricky outsped, so Arcanine must have atrocious speed. We don't know for sure yet though, but you'll see in the champion fight. I plan on doing the Elite Four similar to how I do my random typing runs. I'll have the base stats of all their Pokemon up in the top right of the screen so you guys can see what I'm fighting. But remember, at the time of the recording, I don't know what any of the base stats are, so I'm still blind to it. But we're not there yet. We still have one more gym to take on. At least that's what I thought, but I forgot I never fought Sabrina. So let's go do that real quick. And in her gym, I discover Haunter's special is atrocious. So that will help us out just a little bit against Agatha. I do learn over Bite with Leer. We already have Body Slam, which is arguably better. And Leer can help blitz out against things with super high defense, as long as it doesn't knock itself out first. Back to Giovanni's gym. We're allowed in here now, so let's take him on. Rhyhorn and Dugtrio both go down in 1 Hydro Pump, not really doing anything to Herald. Nidoqueen has really bad defense and goes down in 2 bites. Nidoking is a tank, of course, but that's why we have Dragon Rage, and it goes down in 3. And Rhydon, we're going in Blind 2. Its defense doesn't look that good, but holy cow, that attack stat. Herald is able to knock it out easily with a Double Edge, though. I could have swapped Herald out so that XP wasn't lost. Well, I say that, but Blitz would have gotten 1 shot for sure, and knowing our luck, Ricky would have been slower and gotten hit with a Fisher, so yeah, we did it! Giovanni is down, the gym run's done, let's take on Rival. I send out Blitz hoping to just knock out everything on his team. Unfortunately, Pidgeot's quick attack takes Blitz down to a quarter, so not sure how long Blitz will be surviving this fight. Pidgeot does end up going down in 2, Rhyhorn goes down in 3, Growlithe takes massive damage from Body Slam but hits back with Takedown, knocking Blitz out. Swapping into Ricky though, Surf makes quick work of the Growlithe, Execute is really annoying as we all know, and Leech Seeds Ricky after we get Toxic going, and then paralyzes Ricky. So yeah, we're swapping into Herald, and Execute goes down super quick. Alakazam has really bad special, which I momentarily forget, but it doesn't really do anything to us, so that's good. And Blastoise is a tank, Double Edge and Bite not doing a whole lot, but we do have Dragon Rage to fall back on, and it has really bad attack, and it goes down in 2 more hits. The Rival before the league is done. Moving on to Indigo Plateau, I use up all the vitamins we've accumulated over the run and teach Thunderbolt and Blizzard to Ricky over Thrash and Horn Attack, and Ice Beam to Herald over Dragon Rage. The team is at level 43 and level 44. Let's take on the Elite Four. I don't know what to expect with Lorelei. We never did fight anybody in Victory Road. Let's just see what happens and go for it. Like, what's the worst that could happen? What's the worst that could happen? Dugong is 11 levels higher than Blitz. If it goes for rest, we're good. Oh, it didn't go for rest. All right, so Clamp's gonna hurt. Clamp knocks out Blitz. That sucks, but Ricky comes out. Let's use Thunderbolt. Oh man, yeah, I didn't think about that. Okay, so far so bad. Let's go for Double Edge and Bite. Okay, you've made your point. Now Slowbro. Slowbro is really weak, especially I think. Nope. We're really struggling now. All right, yeah, we just gotta reset. All right, so I think what we're finding out is I need to go train up a bit in Victory Road. Yeah, I think that's probably the best plan. We could potentially beat Lorelei at the current level, but we'd probably be around 15 levels lower than Champion's Ace if we even got there. So let's get trained up a little bit. And while training, I find out Kingler is an absolute monster. Here's his stats, and normally I always look at Krabby and Kingler in these kind of runs just because they're some of my faves, but I didn't in this run, and that's just how the cookie crumbles. We also find out Chansey has insane attack, and I find out Ricky outspeeds Dugong, which you guys already knew because you've seen its atrocious base speed, but I was in wonder at just how bad it could be. Alright, training arc is done. The team is at level 45 and 46. Let's see what Lorelei is like now. And spoiler alert, it goes about the same. Cloyster just wreaks havoc on the team. I try again after using the rare candies, but Cloyster hacks the game by making Herald hit himself every single turn and critting every turn against Blitz and Ricky. So, you know what? Herald is the only one that can survive more than 2 hits from Cloyster. We're loading him up with rare candies, getting him to level 50, Blitz up to level 48, and Ricky to level 47. Let's try Lorelei one more time. You know, why not? Double Edge. Nice. Nice crit. You'll love to see it. All right. Dugong's down. Cloyster still outspeeding us. I am very curious about Cloyster's base stats. I almost went with Cloyster, but then I decided not to. I decided against it. Oh yeah, isn't it Jinx's special that's really bad? No, it's just that Herald had got so many growls. Are you missing all these Hydro Pumps? Did you seriously miss like 3 Hydro Pumps? I didn't mean to go for Toxic, I meant to go for Thunderbolt. Oh well. Okay. Alright, now let's go for Thunderbolt on this Lapras. Almost knocks it out. Blizzard's probably going to take out. Yep, Ricky. Alright, Blitz. Please, 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 please. Body Slam. Please knock it out. Please knock it out. Hydro Pump is going to... We lived... Oh, yes! Alright, Lorelei's down. I think we got the rest of the league. I think we're good. Alright, so Bruno, let's send out Ricky. just to get some experience. And we're just gonna probably like Thunderbolt everything or something. I don't know. And then Agatha, we're probably gonna do the same thing. We don't know what Gengar is, but surely it can't have the same special as, oh wait, Thunderbolt doesn't work against Onix. Oh, Surf knocks it out. Hitmonchan. Oh yeah, Hitmonchan had really good special. All right, we gotta swap into Blitz here. And Body Slam. Nice, we got the Paralysis. Counter, unfortunately, unlocks out Blitz. You hate to see it, but Hitmonchan's down. Hitmonlee, I don't really remember. Let's try for Hydro Pump here. Okay, good. Knocks it out. Let's swap back into Ricky for the Onix. And we're going to use Surf. Alright, and now we'll use Blizzard against Machamp. Looks like it's going to be a couple hits here. Which, easy peasy, Bruno, as usual. We didn't get any level ups there. That's unfortunate. Let's see. Blitz. What can... I guess Ricky is probably our best option, unfortunately, against Agatha. Boy. We're not going to outspeed. And just try for Agatha. We're not going to outspeed, so I don't really know what we're going to do here. Blizzard, yeah. Okay, so Blizzard did it that much. If Gengar just keeps doing that, just keep doing stupid stuff. Please, just keep doing stupid stuff. Nice, it's paralyzed. All right, cool. So, yeah, we're going to swap into Blitz here. And Body Slam. That's not good that we're confused. Let's swap into Herald. All right, cool. Let's do Ice Beam. Knocks out the Haunter. And Golbat, we can keep using Ice Beam. Okay, Arbok, Bite. Almost knocks it out. Alright, and now Gengar. Let's go for another Ice Beam. May want to go for a Freeze here, if we can. Please freeze? Doesn't look like he's wanting to freeze. It'd be great if you froze. No, okay, Ricky, come out, please. Blizzard hits. 2 Nightshades knocks out Ricky, but Blizzard hit. All right, Agatha's down. Ooh, okay. We are making it through. We are using up all our healing items, but it's fine. It's fine. We're fine. All right, it's Lance time. Why did I go for Blizzard instead of Thunderbolt? Well, we got the freeze anyway, so it doesn't matter. Everything's just working out. Oh man, this is fun. Blizzard just knocks out the Dragonairs, because why wouldn't it? We're gonna Thunderbolt the Aerodactyl because it can't do anything. That was a Hyper Beam, did literally nothing. All right, now Blizzard to finish off the Dragonite. It just works. It lances down. Oh, this is so stupid. I don't need to use a revive. All right, so champion. All right, let's just go into it. Well, I mean, why not? Let's just champion. All right, here we go. Or should we just do Blizzard? Yeah, let's just do Blizzard. Let's knock out the Pidgeot real quick. Easy peasy. Surf the Alakazam. Psybeam can't even touch us. Rhydon. I don't remember what Rhydon... It doesn't matter. Rhydon's down. Ricky pulling through in the end. Let's go with Thunderbolt on Arcanine. Alright. Executor had... I think it had really bad special. Yeah, so we're just going to knock it out real quick. Thunderbolt swag. Oh, oops. Luckily, it can't do anything to us anyway, so we're just going to sit here. Let's actually take this to swap into Blitz. What if Blitz fainted to that? Alright, we're just going to keep using Body Slam. And knock it out! Yes! We did it! Random base stats run is done. Oh, that was so much fun. All right, we did it. So while recording, Sokyo is going through some of the base stats in Notepad with the full VOD watchers. Let's go through some of the notable Pokemon in nice graphical form. Let's look at the lowest base stats in the game. In third place for lowest base stat is a 6-way tie between Clefable, Cubone, Electrode, Jolteon, looking back that's not surprising, Venusaur, and Voltorb, all having 2 in one of their base stats. Second lowest was yet another tie, this time a 7-way tie. Beedrill, Charmander, Ditto, Grimer, Meowth, Rapidash, and Starmie all had a measly 1 in one of their base stats. Starmie's actually really good though, and I wish I would have gone with my gut on Cinnabar and caught a Staryu. And the lowest base stat in the game, drumroll please, was no surprise Dugong's base speed at a big fat 0. That allowed it to allocate all those points into its other stats, giving it a nice buff to attack, defense, and special. It actually has a lower HP than Vanilla, which is kind of funny. Alright, now for the highest base stats in the game. Third place goes to Arcanine, which might not be that surprising, at a base HP of 196. Its attack isn't that bad either. Second place goes to Zapdos with 199 base HP. The rest is kind of meh though. Sorry, Zapdos. And first place is a tie between both Poliwrath and Rhydon. They had a base stat of 214. Poliwrath's attack stat and Rhydon's HP stat. Doing this run, I got some ideas for even more base stat shenanigans. I plan on building a script that makes even more min-max Pokemon, so we'll see more stat distributions like Nidoking and less boring stuff like Oddish. And then something I'm sure we all want to see, what happens when everything has a base stat total of 0? Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of that. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Next up in the Pokemon series will be Pokemon Red, but every Pokemon is bug type. And I'm going on record now, I will not be using a Spearow, I'll be using a different flying type. And after that, I'll be doing some more work in Pokemon Red Sokio version, so be sure to tune in for that. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.